Chapter 6, The Wrecking Crew. On January 17, 1984, boxer Enriquez was transferred to Dual Vocational Institution in Tracy, California, with a reputation as an up-and-coming camarada. On his first day on the yard, two carnales, Kiki from Primera Flats and Gator from Florencia, both in their early 40s, walked up to him on the yard, accompanied by a young camarada named Roy Boy. Roy Boy said, "Hey, you're boxer, right? We want you to do this hit right now." He didn't even blink. "Okay, let's go. Who is it?" Boxer was only told that the target was a gang member from Santa Monica named Angel. He didn't know why they wanted it done, and he didn't ask. "Take Puppet with you," said Gator. "Little Puppet, eh?" Francisco Puppet Martinez was another up-and-comer from the West Side 18th Street gang in Los Angeles. He had a spotted birthmark on his face, like Soviet Premier Mikhail Gorbachev, and around the yard, he was also kiddingly called Gorby. The weapon was a shank made from the handle of a paint roller, a long chrome rod broken off and sharpened to an ice pick point. Puppet said, "I'm going to grab him and you stab him." "Okay," said Boxer, "I'll do that." It was just that simple. They found Angel on the handball courts and walked straight up to him. It all happened in broad daylight in front of the gun towers and other inmates, what they called a kamikaze hit. Puppet grabbed Angel and Boxer just started stabbing him over and over again until the untaped plastic handle slid up to cover the point of the shank and made it no longer effective. That's the only thing that saved Angel's life. Boxer handed the bloody knife to Puppet and they both walked away. Puppet passed the weapon to a third conspirator who buried it in the grass 30 yards away. It was Boxer's first hit. It was then I knew I was on the path. I was being looked at by Emmett. I was honored that I was picked for the mission and exhilarated by the immediate recognition I received on the yard as a big homeboy. It felt as if I'd won a schoolyard fight, magnified 100 times. Yeah, it felt good. The next hit was Ronald Chainsaw Hayward, a member of an outlaw motorcycle club called the Vagos, a notoriously violent biker in his own right and as big as a house. He didn't get the name Chainsaw for nothing. Boxer was still a skinny young kid. I was scared to death, but he did it anyway. Again, right out in the open, kamikaze style. Stabbing Chainsaw until his bloody body looked like someone had attacked him with one. It's kind of like a blood initiation. Somebody has to do the hit. You keep doing hits, and they've, MA members, got to see you're reliable. Gangsters commonly refer to it as putting in work or making your bones. And yes, Boxer explained, there is always fear before you do a hit, but there is more fear of what might happen if you refuse to do it. Other, older hardcore mafia members were locked down in segregated units and not allowed on the yard at DVI. They were Manuel Rocky Luna of Big Hazard, Frankie B. Buelna of Primera Flats, and Sinan Chorrillo Grajeda of La Raña. They were delegating this authority to us, Boxer said, and we're handling most of the business on the yard. That meant moving drugs, making sure kites got to the right place, organizing little wars against rivals, and doing hits. At DVI, Enriquez arranged a couple of dozen hits on mafia orders. It was as if he was on a campaign. Traditionally, no one was to outwardly seek Meme membership. But everything you do, said Boxer, contributes to your resume. The young camaradas at DVI, doing the mafia's bidding and secretly hoping to join their ranks someday, became known as the Wrecking Crew. None of their hit victims died. Boxer learned that it's not as easy as it looks in the movies to kill a man with a knife, where some guy walks up with a slick move, and then walks away casually. No, it's brutal. You feel the shank going in and you hear them. They're grunting. Their life is draining away. You can see it leaking out of them, but they fight, yell, and scream. They attack you. Killing people is not that easy. It was also clear that the prosecutions for prison yard hits were rare. For one thing, there were no video cameras on the yards at the time. There was also a sense among law enforcement of what was referred to as the NHI factor, no humans involved. Why take the time to prosecute a killer who was killing a killer? Stabbings were so common that they didn't even put tape on the crime scene. Just picked up the knife and resumed play. A killing might get someone 45 days in isolation, Boxer discovered, or 45 days off a parole date. That means nothing to lifers, and it didn't matter to me if I was caught and prosecuted because I was on the fast track to LAEME membership. That was more important than getting parole. Boxer and others in the wrecking crew saw themselves as soldiers in the Mexican Mafia army, putting in work, growing like a new crop of soldiers.